It's just to motivate the youngins, really come from nothing. Post-traumatic stress, we really suffer from it. I'm hunted by my past, but I ain't running from it. I miss.
All right. Aaron, what it do, baby? So, with that being said, bro, welcome to Words to Freedom. Like we say, man, our words is gonna lead the next generation to the freedom of success, the freedom of their mind, their soul, their body, the finances, freedom from the chains, man, that we've been on for the past 400 plus years, literally. So, with that being said, man, GLM. This is a branch from GLM with podcasting. And GLM stands for grind, lead, motivate. You can't do one without the other. So you got to grind every single day so you can become that leader and lead the masses. So then now you can motivate the next person to do the same thing that you are doing now. So with that being said, man, let's continue to grind. Let's continue to lead. Let's continue to motivate. So with that being said, man, welcome to the podcast, bro. Welcome to Words to Freedom. And I know last week we were supposed to have a episode. It was my birthday, and I had somebody doing it, and I was gonna push out a special one for my birthday. Turning 25, but the young lady did have a family issue, so I was like, all right, bet, I'll just postpone. I couldn't find anybody else, so I just decided to postpone until this week. So we are here, and we're gonna give you guys the sauce, man, and really just have a conversation, really just talk, because I feel like this is something big that our community need to hear. And this, us being men, black men, and black men just really looking to succeed. I hate saying the T word. So looking to succeed literally every single day and overcoming our obstacles, right? So I do have a question for you. Well, to start off, bro, ask you how you doing? How's everything? How was the day?
Hey man, today was pretty good. No, it was crazy. It's crazy dealing with work and stuff. But other than that, we here, man. We in good spirits. We here.
Bet. That's good, bro. That's good. So, bet I had a good day too, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a lot going on. I've been up all day, but at the same time, I feel like it was very, very productive. Very, very productive. Back to back training at 9 o'clock, so we got to get to it. But I do have a question, bro. I do have a question. Um, so what I want to talk about is how you deal with challenges and obstacles. Okay. Because this is a very simple concept, but at the same time, a lot of people overlook it. A lot of people struggle with it. A lot of people, and I feel like our community at hand struggles with it. Literally, we go through a lot of things, and you know, we sit on our hands, right? So, basically, if I were to ask you, well, I am gonna ask you the question: is how do you deal with challenges? Let's literally get into the nitty and gritty, and then we're just gonna go from there.
Hey man, I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm gonna definitely start with who I am as a person. Um, at default, I'm a person with a huge heart. Um, so and I'm very empathic. So basically, anything that basically comes my way, good or bad, I feel it times 1,000 probably than the average person. So whenever, let's say, a challenge as in something that's really heavy in my life, um, to be honest, I usually don't know how to do it, and usually very in tune with my emotions, but um at some point in my life, I was kind of disassociating myself with it for the simple fact that it got too heavy for me to carry, right? Because not everybody has, um, not everybody is strong enough to carry certain burdens. You know what I'm saying? So, whenever a challenge comes in my life now, even for the past, let's say 2.5 years of my life, I think about it different than I used to, right? Where it's like, okay, let me see what the problem actually is. Let me see where it's rooted from, and then I can go from there. And it's like, even then saying that is like it's so cliche and it's easier said than done, because we're humans, we have emotions, and sometimes they get heavy, and it's like sometimes we might have to let it out with even crying, yelling, whatever emotion comes out, it happens. We're humans. So with me personally, now I think of it a little bit different, where it's okay, this problem right here, is it something that's worth ruining my whole day for? If that's in a sense, right? And it's like, again, easier said than done. Because I'm not perfect myself. I have times where I need a second or maybe two, but most of the time now it's that's how I really deal with it now. Or I usually go look for insight from someone who's probably been through it before.
Okay. So with that being said, like I feel like personally, and I'm glad that you said that because um and just being transparent about that you still struggle with it. You still struggle with overcoming challenges, things of that nature, right? Because I do too. I still struggle with it every single day. So this is somewhere like this is probably going to be a conversation where we can figure that out together. You know what I'm saying? And let people know that it's okay to not know. It's okay to not know. So and that's what this is about, man. It's like I'm not a master at things. I don't got my PhD. I'm not, I ain't got everything situated. But at the same time, it's like, okay, how can we talk about it to fix it? How can we talk about it to get it together? How can we talk about it to actually, work towards it? So I've been doing a lot of research on really finding myself and really like, tapping into overcoming the obstacles sitting in your face, because a lot of us, like I said, we sit on our hands when we see a brick wall and instead of just crashing through it, right? So a lot of the things that I looked up and really just really just how to solve the problem fast, or how not to lose your momentum, right? Or your excitement with things. And that's with anything. That's with your relationship, that's with your business, that's with school, life, it doesn't matter, right? So all day long we face large and small hurdles that can make us want to give up. But it's like, what are you going to get out of that? What are you going to get out of giving up, right? So the struggle makes things a lot special. And we have to realize, we have to understand this, okay? Anything that we want in life, it's going to present resistance. If it's somebody that you want to marry, somebody that you want to love dearly, it's going to it's going to be resistance, and I've been dealing with that on a first-hand standpoint. But you got to keep going. Business wise, you got to keep going. Working out, you got to keep going. I'm telling you, you know this, you be about to die now, I promise you. So like to add to that, like losing 30 pounds since July, bro, like it was a bunch of resistance. It was a bunch of resistance. So what I want to say, what I want to ask now, because this is something that I found out, is like literally, a lot of people just say stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. So how do you stay the course? What did that mean to you?
That saying in itself is not. It's used so lightly. Like there's a lot of words that are used so lightly nowadays, and it's just like that phrase or that saying is used so lightly because it's like you're saying it with no kind of substance behind it. It's like you're saying it as, oh, okay, I'm hoping this helps, like a placebo pill, right? And um, staying the course for me, the gym has been a huge part for me for years. But even as I get older, it's become more than just working out. It's more than just getting into training. It's literally become something that has kind of saved my life in many ways. Um, that and really, um, really just getting back to kind of who I am as a person has really kind of kept me in a lane where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna straight off back to things that used to hurt me in the past and things like that. And because like you just said as well, where it's like staying the course as far as even relationships, staying the course as far as that as well is just you have to kind of expect when things are gonna go wrong, because things are gonna go wrong at some point. Things are gonna go wrong at some point in your business, in your life, and it's just we gotta kind of expect that. But you know, staying on the course of, okay, like we see where this is gonna go, or you see where this is gonna take you, and you might not be able to see like past this whatever you're going through right now, but it's just like staying the course. At the end of that course, is exactly where you want to be.
Okay.
And with me, again, like, you know, sports has been a huge part of my life, growing up. And, obviously with sports comes, I lifting weights, training for, games and stuff like that. So it has been something that has been a part of my life for a very long time. So it's kind of kept me in a good headspace, if that makes sense.
Nah, it does make sense because I mean I feel like a lot of men deal with like um the down well I'll say the adversity through like working out things of that nature, and that can be a good thing and a bad thing because some people just may just be running from it. So I know there was a big obstacle in your life where you had actually got in a car accident and almost damn near died. So how did you mentally bounce back from that?
Um, at first, it came as a huge shock to me because, even um, I usually don't really talk about this too much, but I was born as a preemie, and hearing what my parents hearing from the doctors telling me that, hey, he might not live past a year old, and all these things they were telling my parents, and and then that happening later in my life, um that kind of came as a shock to me because it's like, whoa, like I could have not been able to see tomorrow. And at first, I didn't think about it too much, but when I had to go to the hospital to get staples in my head because I got hit in my head, they actually ended up telling me that if the cut on my head was an inch bigger, I wouldn't be here. And that kind of, even to this day, it kind of put me in a zone where I was like, wow, like I'm supposed to be here. Because if God wanted to take me out, he could have took me out back when in the delivery room when I was a kid. So going through that kind of made me more grateful to even be alive. And this is why I say it all the time, where it's like whenever people ask me, or whenever we have business calls where trainings that we have, and they ask, drop what you're grateful for. And I'm seriously grateful to be alive because there's many instances where I shouldn't. And that in itself has really also, kept me, staying the course in a sense, because it's like, if I wasn't supposed to be here, I wouldn't be. No. So, um, and really on top of that, for, especially in terms of, the black men or kings out there, really, dealing with that as well, or dealing with, suicidal thoughts and all that stuff. And it's like, I know it is something that I have personally dealt with as well. Um, and that was a period of my life where it was really, really, really dark. So I can definitely understand that you might feel a sense of what's the point of being here, or I have nothing to really be here for, or nobody to really do this for. But I'm going to be honest, there's somebody out there that's waiting for you to pop so they can feel like they can do it too. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, I ain't know that part, bro. So through all that, like you said, bro, like having those suicidal thoughts and like really being in that dark place. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there in that dark place right now. Um, or just coming out of it and probably not gonna speak on it, or hopefully they do. But what what helped you come out of that dark place? Like, are you still in that dark place?
To an extent, I'm still kind of dealing with those problems. It is something that I never thought I would have to deal with, but
Yeah.
then again, life comes with many, many obstacles. So it's kind of, again, as I get older, I get more mature, I start understanding things from a different perspective. But even dealing with those problems now, even, you mentioning that you were going to, pursue therapy. And, that's something that I was thinking about for a very long time. And, the problem is that um, when it comes to therapy, especially in a black family and in, black culture, therapy is looked at as something that's, you know,
Frowned upon.
not heard of. And then it's like whenever you mention it, you think automatically something's wrong with that person in a negative way. And it's, that's not true, or we shouldn't see it like that, because then then it's not only going to dig a hole deeper for that person that's battling whatever they're battling, but it's going to make them think that they can't really talk to anybody. Because in the worst part about therapy is that a lot of people think that, if the people I love don't understand, what makes me think that a stranger is going to understand, right? And it's about, at least for me, it's more so about relatability and trust. At least when I'm looking for someone on a therapy level, because uh, that is something that is very, very important to me. But I'm also in the pursuit of looking for a therapist as well. And I can't say it's easy to even talk about, but I can't carry a burden, and have my kids have to deal with it, because that's not something I'll have.
Fact. And I say, one thing with that, bro, like I've been talked about it for a while, and you are right, bro. Like it's literally it's frowned upon in our community, and it's like, yo, you gonna give me chat, but I feel like in our community, it's like when us as men talk about our problems and talk about how we feel, things of that nature, it's like, oh, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just see it, just what they say, just see it through, my boy. Like, and it's like the thing
Yeah.
is with that, man, it's like, nah, like we should have a place where we can come to and really speak on it too, because life is hard on our hands, because we are looked at as providers, you know what I'm saying? Or very strong, and we got to get it together. And I'm starting to notice, especially when you have somebody in your corner, bro, because this is something that's very, very this hits home a lot. And literally having somebody in your corner that truly cares, that truly wants you to be great, it makes you feel like somebody's there for you. Like, and that's something that right now I'm happy with, because I got people in my corner. I have a special person in my corner that's literally pushing me to do it. Like, literally go, like, you've been saying this for so long, you need to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter how much or how often I talk about my past, I still have some stuff that I don't say. A lot of stuff that I don't talk about. Or there's something that I forgot. Like, literally, there was a point where I just forgot. Instead of just literally, I mean, I overcame the obstacle, of some of the obstacles that my family had. I overcame them, but I was still fighting the obstacle that I had to go overcome. And that was like mentally, and within my own means of my family. And I was just running away from it, going to do successful things, going to college, graduating college, becoming a bruh, doing internships. Like, I'm just doing things so I don't have to think about that. So it's like, yeah, like I'm overcoming those obstacles, but at the same time, I'm still running from that one. So the biggest thing I'll say with that, and I'm not a therapist, I'm not none of that, but I will fight for everybody to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Um, and literally women, men. So I'm pushing you, bro. Go do it. Literally. I know it's not easy to find one, but literally you can just test out a couple. Um, just test out a couple people, man. Um, I know this girl. I'm gonna send you this girl's page. I'm actually shout out her Instagram. Let me see if I got it in my DMs. But she has a highlight on her Instagram that, well, no, it's a link tree. She has a link tree on her Instagram that that gives you a link to actually go sign up to talk to somebody. Let's see. Like, you can literally go and sign up to talk to someone. Let me see if I can find her thing. It was a couple days ago. I know it's in here. Don't. Let's see. There we go. All right. So her Instagram name is SamNicoleWhite. So that is Sam Nicole White. And if you go to her story, or not to her story, but go to her profile on Instagram, click the link in her bio, and literally she has a breakdown. Like it says free public goods. Like y'all can see it. Like I wish I knew how to like
Oh
edit.
wow,
Huh?
I see it.
Yeah. Like I wish I knew how to do all the editing stuff and really like shout her out.
Yeah,
But literally, and she has other things too. But therapy for Black girls or therapists, psychology today, crisis text line, national suicide prevention line, like in her bio. And her highlights is really just mental health based. And I literally went through and watched it all. And that's another thing to help people overcome obstacles. So to add to that, bro, like, obviously, number one thing, man to man, bro, go get help. I have not had my first session yet, but I just feel relieved to know that I'm going to do it. Like I'm a little nervous, but I'm going to do it. Right. So, so with that being said, like, bro, just like, and I know we talk about it pretty often about certain things and, faith, fear, things of that nature that adds into a lot of things. But I would say because overcoming obstacles, you can use inspiration, you can use motivation. So what are some good things that you read, watch, or listen to that helps you push to overcome?
I've been really into Prince Darnell a lot lately. I've been really into obviously Eric Thomas has been my number one go-to for a lot of things as well, and especially for anytime I ever feel like I'm less than a person, or feel like I can't do something, or feel like um, you know, it's not possible or anything like that. I always go to those two people for um, how to be better as not only a man, but the future person I'm going to be, and really just get that push from Eric Thomas to really know that I can do it, and that it's possible. Um, because if I'm being honest, like a lot of things I kind of just relied on my own intuition, really just for a long time, because I felt like mentally I was able to do that. But obviously, like I said earlier, with every human has a problem that's too heavy to carry alone, and you need to go to some outside sources, and those things have been really helping me, obviously, on top of physically staying active and stuff like that as well. Because it's funny that you really brought that up about just really doing a lot of things just so you don't have to, in a sense, feel. And that's what I was talking about in this terms of disassociation, because uh, in a sense I was doing a lot of things just so I wouldn't have to, in a sense, face those things in the corner that I haven't faced. And that, in a sense, only made it worse, because it's like a ticking time bomb. Because it only takes one thing to really kind of blow the top off, and the problem is that it's probably going to be on a person or something that didn't really deserve it, and it's just they were just in the way. That's what sucks, because it's like they didn't deserve that, you know.
A lot of times that happens, and that leads right into my next question or my next statement, right? So it says, so I wrote down, like, is this my problem to solve, or is it somebody else's? So with that being said, a lot of people waste a lot of time on problems that aren't theirs to solve. So like if you're facing an obstacle that is keeping you from making progress, you need to do something about it. But the source of the obstacle might be a problem that somebody else has to solve. You know what I'm saying? And as and if And with that being said, if you're facing that, you got to find that person and make sure that they know it, or you might have to convince them to make it a priority. And if they don't want or can't, you might have to adjust and come up with a different plan that allows you to bypass the problem entirely. So dealing with, like I say, you know, bringing it to relationships, it may not be your problem to solve, it's their problem. Sometimes you have to remove yourself just to bypass it entirely. And that's what a lot of things, I can't really speak too much on it because I you know, I'm still studying it. A lot of things that I talk about, a lot of things that I'm going to be bringing up in most of the podcasts, I'm studying all these things because I'm literally finding me. I'm really finding like what I need to do to make sure that I'm giving the most to the next person. Listen to these other podcasts, researching, reading, you know, all these things. And it was really that right there that stuck out to me. Is this my problem to solve? Like, have you ever felt that way? Like, is this my problem to solve, or somebody need to feel like literally somebody else need to solve
And that's really most of my problems. At least when it comes to, you know, the whole relationship aspect as well. Because again, being an empathic person, it really sucks a ton. Because it's like, you know, let's say for instance, you know, my partner would have a problem, right? Uh, and at that point, I would, you know, do everything in my power to, you know, make sure, you know, that it gets handled. So it's like, so we can go back to being cool. Um, but sometimes that's not the case because it's like it might not have anything to do with you, or it might not be your problem at all. But because you stepped in, now it's probably like, oh well, dang, like now they have a reason, or maybe that person might have a reason to be like, oh, you didn't help, you know, and it wasn't your responsibility in the first place. But now you got that burden you probably have to carry.
it? Yeah. And that's a lot too, because I feel like a lot, and that's it's like a tricky situation because with that obstacle, with that problem that people have, um or you know, even ourselves, we may push it on to somebody that can't solve it. You know what I'm saying? um that's a thing, but at the same time it's like it may be something that we can't solve ourselves, where there's somebody it we and I feel like that we revert to not go to the person that we need the answers from because we're scared of it, we're scared to take action. That's the number one thing. So moving on from that, literally, like, we have to ask ourselves, like, on top of that, what can we do right now to move forward? Okay. Because serial winners like handle disasters the same way that they handle successes. They maintain their focus and they keep moving forward. And I feel like that's what we have to do as individuals. We got to keep moving forward, even though like it's not our problem to solve. We got to keep going forward at the end of the day. So the first step in becoming great at something is getting obsessed about it. Okay. Or getting great at it. You know what I'm saying? No obsession equals no greatness. So that literally dives into our business. Dives into what we do. If you're not truly obsessed with it, you may not become great at it. You got to literally be obsessed with, I wouldn't even say like just our business. You got to be obsessed with being successful. You got to be obsessed with making sure that your family is going to be wealthy, or you're going to have a great family. Be obsessed with making your woman happy. Be obsessed with buying her the best ring. Be obsessed with it. Retiring your mother. Things of that nature. Like, be obsessed with overcoming your obstacles. You got to. Okay. Because action test ideas is it's a favorite saying that John Paul Caponegro, I don't know if I said it right, but Caponegro, he was a photographer and an artist. So you gotta figure out, okay, let me ask you this, bro. And a lot of people may a lot of, you know, it don't matter who out there listening, it doesn't matter. This is very transparent. Like, what's what's the next step in your plan? Like, do you know the next step in your plans sometimes? Because sometimes I don't.
To be honest, like it's that in itself is even scary to think about because it's like at times, and especially in the last year and a half, um, when certain things happen in your life, you kind of get discouraged, and it's like you kind of disconnect from certain parts, and it's like those key parts you actually, those are the important parts that are actually going to get you through it in a sense. And it's like for the past, I want to say about 4 or 5 months, it's kind of just I've been focused on trying to get out. So it's like plans on as far as like moving forward, no, no, because again, when you get to a low point or when you get to a point where it's like, dang, like yo, I just want to get out of this. You know what I'm saying so.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by getting out? Getting out what? Getting out of what?
Getting out of, or basically put it like this, trying not to go back to a place where I was. And
Okay.
that in a sense kind of takes up most of the energy that I have day to day. As far as, whatever else I got going on today, but gym, work and stuff like that. But revolving around that, really just trying to not, or hate saying that word, but doing my best not to go back to that place in my life where things were really low. Because at that point, I bet by my standards, basically I lost. Because now it's like I'm retreating backwards instead of moving forward in a better direction. You know what I'm saying? So and again, things happen in life where, again, people aren't perfect. Things happen where you kind of relapse in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing my best not to let that happen. So, as far as having plans, no, most definitely not. Most definitely not.
I like that you said, you don't want to revert back to, you know, um, where you were, right? And that's what in stating to that statement is always moving forward, always moving forward. Um, so with that being said, um, so if you don't know, it's okay. It's okay. Cause I don't, bro. Like I literally erased my whiteboard on my wall to redo, Like I had a lot of stuff on there. I had a lot of goals and a lot of steps and things of that nature. And I just wasn't following them for a certain amount of time. And it's like, I gotta redo it. And if I don't redo it, I'm not gonna do it. So it's like that's my goal tonight. Really, really over the weekend is to revamp my steps to the next level in my life, the next things that I gotta conquer. um right now where my life is gonna be. And stating back to David, you gotta write it out. And it's like, even though I write it out, I stop reading it. You gotta continue to read it. So it's like relationship wise, um finances wise, uh career, business, endeavors, like weight, like literally I did write my goal down about what how much weight I'm gonna lose, and I hit that. But at the same time, I didn't look at it every day. I just woke up and put the work in, stayed focused. And from June, the end of July to now, like, bro, I don't know if you seen the picture that I posted. Like, bro, when we was in Miami,
Oh no, I seen him. I seen him. Yeah,
I was
I seen him.
depressed, bro. It don't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm out there with my team. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
I was depressed. I was not
yeah.
happy. And just to come from that, like, I'm genuinely happy now. Like, I can literally go through some things and literally know, like, all right, bet I have somebody that have my back. I have people around me that has my back. Like whatever I got going on, I can overcome it. Literally, I can do whatever I need to do to overcome that. And if I just continue to fight, I continue to do what I got to do, it's gonna work out in the long run. I just can't lose focus, right? So I have written down here. It says, if it's not possible, if it's not possible. So stating back to the question I asked, what's the next step in your plan? If you don't know, all right, bet. If it's not possible what action can you take to move a little closer to it? So I want you to think about that. Like, what is a small step that you can take? Just give me one. Just give me one. What do you feel like a small step you can take?
I'm gonna be honest. Probably budgeting.
Okay.
That's probably one of my major things right now.
Back.
Because if I'm being completely transparent, and anybody who's ever gonna watch this, I want you to understand it's not about how much money you get; it's how much money you can keep and manage. Because I've literally seen people who had six and millionaire lifestyle. I've literally seen them go broke, and that right there is because they were not disciplined in a budget. And it's like even myself, and it's look, I'm not perfect. I went my whole life without budgeting, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I got this far, but I'm at a point, and I feel like God is teaching me something right now because I cannot continue to move how I did financially to get where I want to get to because it literally won't work. It literally will not work. Right? And it's like, it'll be little things where it's like people, take for granted, especially when it comes to, even investing, where it's like, look, like being able to pay for groceries or gas, things that people, real life things, your phone bill, stuff like that, real life things that people, don't really, think about. Having that leisure where it's like you don't have to worry about where that money's coming from is something that's huge, especially now. And it's something that I don't take for granted anymore because it's like, like at one point in my life, I was just doing things willy nilly. And it's like, again, I don't know how I got this far, but, those things are way more important to me now. So it's like definitely one thing I could change or one thing I could do to get more closer, budgeting for sure. For sure.
And I feel like that's a big thing that because I was a financial representative, right? I was financial advisor. And that's what I did every day. And it's like I just never I did it for a while and I stopped just doing it. Literally budgeting my own money, budgeting my own stuff. So it's like that's a big thing that I've been working on is really like writing out my bills and really like, okay, just literally seeing, okay, what am I bringing in? What am I bringing in? What can I put to the side to start some new endeavors? So to put my money to work, right? I'm okay with, spending a little bit of money here or to go out or, have a good time. But at the same time, it's like, all right, that money that I spent, how can I make it back? Or have I made it back yet? And that's another thing. Like I said, that's an obstacle that our community have to overcome because a lot of us don't know how to budget. A lot of us don't know. We are not financially literate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with that being said, we're and we fight the urge of that. A lot of individuals in our community fight that because I forgot who said it, but just really to understand that $1 in a Black community only lasts 6 hours. So on top of that, how can we truly educate our people? How? The resources are there. Podcasts, YouTube, courses, seminars. Like how could we reach the masses? Literally, like, and for everybody that's that's gonna be watching this, drop in the comments, like, help us out. How can we move together to help the masses become financially literate and start building wealth for our communities? Start changing the names, start changing the outcomes of our own people. So what are your thoughts, bro? Like, what do you think we can do?
I'm gonna be honest. The first step is we have to be honest. We have to be honest. And it's like even myself, I had to be honest because it's like if I had created this lie where it's like, oh, I'm doing good, I can continue doing this, or oh, I'll get the money back. If I continue on that, I would not. I don't know where I would be. I'll be honest. I don't know where I would be. And I'm in a position now where it's like, well, I've always kind of been this way, where I kind of been struggling to ask for help in many ways, right? In terms of, mental health, in terms of, even finances. I hated asking for help because I never wanted to make it seem like I can't do it myself, or I can't be independent, or I'm always depending on somebody. I never wanted to make it, seem like that. And, again, this is going back to being honest. I'm like, look, like, you can either continue doing what you're doing now and see where that gets you, or, really just do it and ask for help. Because it's like, you have to be honest about where you're at right now, because it's like, most people, especially, in our community, they aren't honest, right? Because let's put it like this, we see a lot of, probably, a lot of things on social media, a lot of memes where it's like, you see the person with a lot of jewelry or a lot of, expensive clothes on, but they take the bus, right? Or, you see somebody with, a nice car, but they live in their car, right? And it's like, these are real things. And it's just like, that's not only because they're financially illiterate, but because nobody is telling them the real about their situation. So they're getting exposed to the wrong things. And going back to the whole, it's in seminars, it's in podcasts like this, it's in, YouTube channels, but they're not clicking those links because they're not entertaining. They're looking for entertainment and not for, things that are going to actually help them. And that's what's really damaging our community the most, because we are so trained to look at, the rappers and stuff like that. They got a bunch of, bust downs, 100K, necklaces. And it's like, bro, like, their life is way different from yours. Most rappers didn't come up like that. They came up illegal first. And that's something we don't talk about. Right. And it's like, at a certain point, yeah, you can't keep living that type of lifestyle, but, that type of stuff they was doing beforehand, was the reason they have the lifestyle they have now. And so, as far as that, we just really have to be honest with our situation. We really, really have to be honest. And that's going to take a lot of, soul searching for a lot of people, because it's like, if you're not willing to be honest about how you're really moving and what needs to really be done, then, it's going to damage you a lot more in the end, because you're going to get a lot more respect in the long run for actually doing what needs to be done now than trying to fake like you got it. And then when it comes to really, front the bill, in a sense, you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's facts. And I'll say that's literally what it is. And that's why I'm doing this, bro. Like, just really, I want people to be transparent. I want people to be real. And I know that it's going to grow. So I know it's going to grow. So that's why I said I'm not going to stop doing this, bro. I love talking. I love talking to people. Again, I'm not a therapist. I just like to talk about it. And this is a way that people can talk about it. We ain't got to be face to face. We can be on Zoom. We could be, just right here. And I'm gonna publish everything, because I want people to see the journey. All of these individuals that's on here, they're gonna see how successful they become if they're not already successful. And that's the thing. Check back in and see how their lives are going. Follow. What's your Instagram, Aaron?
Chairman_Aaron. So it's AARONS.
Okay. Bet. So like I said, I'm gonna do my thing with some editing and see if we can add it on there. But literally, bro, like, and to add to that before we get up out of here, because training at 9 o'clock. But we have to adjust. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to adjust, but in our life and on the way to success, or on our way to success is we have to go through series of adjustments, right? And the actually definition of success, and Kalaya says this all the time. Kalaya says this all the time, but hold up. I should have already had this up. Earl Nightingale. Definition of success by Earl Nightingale says, success is defined as the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. Okay. We always have temporary defeats and minor losses through the day, but we also have success throughout our day that moves us toward our worthy goal. So it's always about progressing. It's always about progressing. Success isn't nice cars. Success isn't nice watches, nice ice, none of that. So with that being said, bro, like what if there was a younger you just sitting there listening to you, all ears, all eyes, is really there to listen, what would you say to them?
I would have to say a lot, but the one thing I would tell him is don't let the world change your heart. And what I mean by that, and I actually had a quote. I had that quote for, like I think it was like my high school, yearbook. I had that saved in there. And at first I didn't really think too much of it, but now it means more to me than ever, right? Because a lot of things out here are going to try to, deter you or try to, tell you who you are, or tell you that you're not this, or tell you that, you're not good enough for this. And, you really have to understand who you are. So I would tell my younger self, man, just keep focused on who you are. Know who you are. So nobody else can tell you who you are. That's what I would tell him.
That's good, bro. That's good. And I feel like that younger you would listen, hopefully. And I feel like all the younger people out there or individuals out there, man, just listen to this podcast over and over and over again. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, whatever you can do, man, to support and really just get this out there. Because we here to save the world. We here literally, words to freedom. Like I said, we're using our words to free your mind, your body, your soul, your pockets, whatever it is. We here to do it, right? Let's continue to grind. Let's continue to lead. Let's continue to motivate. Aaron, bro, love you, bro. I appreciate you. These conversations just got to continue to happen. And we're just going to continue to grow every single day, man. So love you, bro. Let's get up off of here and we out.
Love, man.
It's just to motivate the youngins, really come from nothing. Post-traumatic stress, we really suffer from it. I'm hunted by my past, but I ain't running from it. I miss